week. Okay, starting from Tuesday. On Monday there are three classes. So we decided to do it this way instead of delaying it. Why not next week for the Monday classes? Students in the Monday classes, we are free to go any classes, tutorial groups. Okay. So in the Luminous, you can go to the timetable to see other locations of the other tutorial groups. If there's an overflow or whatever, then go to the next group. Okay, so next week is a more free for all for the tutorials. So last week I mentioned encryptions. Encryption is a first step towards security. And the definition, encryption take a secret key and a plain text, encrypt it, produce what we call ciphertext. The decryption algorithm take the ciphertext and the secret key, decrypt it, and get the plain text. Okay? The secret key is secret and has to be sent from the encryptor to the decryptor in a secure way through some means. Okay? But the eavesdropper, any attacker may able to sniff, sometimes call it sniff, S-N-I-F-F, okay, or eavesdrop and obtain the ciphertext. Okay? So by this application, you can see then we require key to be short, and then the ciphertext can be of arbitrary length. Okay? And we also have looked at the two schemes. And I say that they are not secure, only appear in classical and in storybooks. Okay? But these two schemes, the substitution and permutation cipher, still shape or guide the design of modern cipher. In the modern cipher, is used by interchangeability. Okay, you are not interactively. You apply substitution, then permutation, substitution, permutation, substitution, permutation for many rounds. Okay, for example, the AES and DES. Okay, and I also mentioned that in fact there is a very simple scheme that can be proved to be secure, unbreakable. Okay, so that is a one-time text. Okay, so this is a one-time text. One-time text, very simple. Take the plain text, okay, express them in bit forms. Take the key, also represented as bits of the same length. Then the ciphertext, we just use the XOR operations. XOR operation, then you get the ciphertext. Okay. And the decryptions, repeat the process. You take the ciphertext and the key, XOR them, we get the plain text. Okay. You look at the XOR operation, 0, 1, you get 1, 0, 1, you get 1, 0, 0, get 0, 1, 1, get 0. You look at it, mathematically, this is actually addition modulo 2. Okay? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, 2 modulo 2 will get you 0. Right? So mathematically, you can written as XOR as A XOR B is same as A plus B modulo 2. Okay. So you may read in some other place, they may describe one-time text differently. They describe it as addition. Okay, they say that this plus this modulo any other numbers. They're not necessarily 2, it could be 3 and 4. Okay, what is nice about one-time text, it can be of any modulo, okay, let's say 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then why it work? So this is a magic part of the XOR. You take this equation, encrypted XOR K, encrypted, you will decrypt it again, it's XOR K, you can shift it around, then it becomes X XOR 0, it becomes X. Okay. If you view it as addition, this decryption is actually referred to subtraction. Because in the XOR modulo 2 addition is same as subtraction. It just happens to be like that. In any other groups, okay, let's say you take the modulos 9 or modulo 26, okay, this will be subtractions. then it's very clear that you encrypt, decrypt, you get back the same thing. Okay, you plus k minus k, it becomes x. Fine. Yeah. And also mention that this look very meaningless because the key is the same length as the plain text. Okay. So just now I mentioned, right, in encryption, the key had to be securely sent to the receiver. Okay. If the key is of the same length of the plain text, then why not we just send the plain text over, right? Why have to repeat this process? But yet there's some application is that the key can be established before the plain text appears. The key can be established before you know the message to be encrypted. Okay. In such a case, you can use one-time pad. In fact, have been used in the during World War I. Okay. Yeah, and this is the secret key that are bring by the spy. Okay, they bring the key. Okay, and why encryption becomes so important during the more modern time, and then during World War II, because at that time they started to send message over the air using telegram. Okay, using telegram, and they can tap the cable and so on. Okay, so message being sent over, okay, where the adversary can tap it. Okay. So this is the story. Okay, the story. I think I told the story, so no need to tell it. So then look at the security of one-time pad. I mentioned that it's unbreakable. Okay, so give you a sense of what you mean by unbreakable. Okay, suppose you have a pair of plain text. You are an attacker. You intercept something. You intercept the ciphertext. You know that this is a ciphertext of a movie. Do I use an example of movie? Okay, never mind. Okay, suppose this is a movie. Okay, 7 GB movie. It's encrypted using one-time pad. Okay, and now, assuming that you have unlimited computing power, you can exhaustively search all the key. Okay, if you do that, will you? Okay, sorry. Let me repeat again. Okay, to get a feeling of why this is secure, unbreakable, consider the non-plain text attacks. Non-plain text attacks means that you have the plain text and the ciphertext. And then you want to derive the key. Okay, so in the one-time pad, if given the plain text and the ciphertext, can you derive the key? Yes, very easily. You just take the plain text, XOR the ciphertext, you get the key. But there's no use. Okay, because this key is only used once. Okay, no one will going to use it again. Okay, so this is that's why it's have a sense it doesn't work. Okay. And exhaustive search also doesn't work on one-time pad. So this comes to the next example I wrote here. So suppose you are an attacker, you intercept a 7 GB ciphertext, and you know that this is a movie, JPEG file, MPEG file. Okay. So now using exhaustive search, we mentioned last time, the way you do it is you try all possible key, okay, to decrypt it. If it's a wrong key, you decrypt to some random things that cannot be played as a movie. If it's a correct key, then it can be played as a movie, right? Okay, so you keep trying until you get the key that can decrypt it, and then that is the correct key. Fine. So this is exhaustive search. Exhaustive search. Okay. Now, if you want to apply the exhaustive search on one-time pad, will it work? It will not work. Okay. You will try it. You found that this 7 GB movie can be decrypted to any movie you like. Okay, can be decrypted to what is the most popular movie right now? Never mind. Okay, let's say okay, use my time. Okay, I'm old time. Okay, Terminator. Okay, it can be decrypted to Terminator. It can be decrypted to Star Wars, which is made before you born. Okay, and decrypted to the new Star Wars. Okay, because for any movie here, there is a corresponding key, right? Okay, so even you use exhaustive search, you're not able to work. Okay, fine. So now, for many years, people know that is unbreakable in some sense. They could, the cryptographer are unable to mathematically quantify it or formulate it to say that how do I define unbreakable? Okay. And then Shannon, the guy who started the information theory, okay, come up a notion called perfect secrecy. Okay. So the formulation of a perfect secrecy, we'll not do it here. Okay, I'll just roughly tell you what it is. Okay, if you want to do it, you can go to 4236. Okay, roughly, okay, there's optional here. Okay, optional here. Roughly what he captured in the formulation is that there is a probability distribution capturing the knowledge of the attacker of the plain text before he sees the ciphertext. Okay, so attacker want to guess what is the plain text. He has some knowledge, right, of what is the ciphertext. So this knowledge is modeled or formulated as a probability distribution. Okay. This is a conditional probability. This conditional probability is after the attacker seen the ciphertext. Attacker seen the ciphertext already. After he seen the ciphertext, oh, this is additional information. I may want to change my knowledge about what the plain text is. Okay, so this is the knowledge the attacker has after he has seen the ciphertext, and this must be the same. If this is the same, then it's perfect secrecy. Fine. Okay, so this is a rough notion, and just give an example. Suppose that somehow you have C is a ciphertext of the Oscar winner, okay, and the Oscar go to blah 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 blah. Okay, this plain text is encrypted using a key. Okay, using a key, encrypted. Then you are Bob. Let's say you are Bob. Okay, well you gather all the information from the source. You go to Google. You interview a few people. You feel that from the information you guess, likely Alice in the crypto land. At first I put Alice in land. Okay. Now Alice in the crypto land. Okay, have the 42 chances of winning. Okay, this number is very important to you because assuming Bob is a bad guy, or you is a bad guy, you go to those underground betting thing, right? So every percentage is very important. Okay, he decide what is the payoff, right? So after Bob gather all this information, Bob think that 42%. Okay, Alice in crypto land. Okay, so Bob is very happy. Okay, but after some time, Bob happened to intercept this ciphertext. Okay, Bob intercept a ciphertext. Okay, he intercept a ciphertext and he know that this ciphertext, plain text is, and the Oscar go to blah 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 blah. He want to know what is this. Okay, after Bob intercepted this ciphertext give him additional information. Now, can he use this additional information to improve his odds? Okay, to improve his guess. Okay, so if the encryption scheme is secure, he should not able to improve his guess. Okay, this is what it means. Okay, so it's secure, then he's not able to improve. Now, suppose the Bob have a supercomputer, very powerful, exhaustively search all the keys. Will he able to improve his odds? Yes, okay, in some sense, if this is encrypted using some AES, which I'm going to explain later, he can try all possible keys and then decrypt to see whether it's English sentence. The first few is an Oscar go to, okay, then he will able to decrypt it. After he decrypt it, he will improve his guess to 100% correct. Okay, yeah. So, but this is a traditional encryption scheme. Okay, using exhaustive search, you can break it. Okay, but if this is encrypted using one-time pads, even if Bob has a supercomputer, he's not able to get any information. Fine. So this is one-time pads. Okay, fine. So now we talk about modern cipher. Modern cipher usually refer to those that use computer to encrypt and decrypt. Okay, yeah. So a famous one, RC4, DCS, DES, A5, AES, RSA. Okay, this modern cipher. So the design of modern cipher, okay, is take into consideration of known plaintext attacks. They already know that known plaintext attack is very important that to be considered, and frequency analysis and many other known attacks. Okay, it's designed very secure. It's designed to be so that the design goal is to the extent that if attacker want to find the key, the only way to do it is by exhaustive search. Okay, it's designed to be like that. Okay, the design goal. Design goal is that the only way to break it is to exhaustive search. Okay, and this is a famous one, DES, and the 4 listed here all broken. Okay, I will tell story later. Okay, but AES is secure and well accepted nowadays. In fact, it's considered Type 1 by NSA. NSA is an agency in US, National Security Agency. Okay. Type 1 means that NSA is a guideline. The guideline given to all the government agencies to say that he can use to encrypt all top secrets, okay, except mission critical document. Okay. Mission critical, I believe it means war or something like that. Okay, so the U.S. government agency can use AES to encrypt any confidential and secret document. Okay. So let's talk about the exhaustive search. Okay, so if the key length is 32 bits, then how many keys? 2 raised to the power 32. Okay, so exhaustive search, you try all possible key will be 2 raised to the power 32 times to do it. Okay, but on average, okay, sometimes on average actually 2 raised to the power 31. It's not very important, but just missed by 1. That means that if you want to keep trying, because you know that it's one of the 2 raised to the power 32, you start from here. Okay, on average you will stop somewhere in the middle, right? You will not have to exhaust all of them. Okay, so on average you will be half. So that's why it was over here I said on average 2 raised to the power 31. Half of 2 raised to the power 32 is 2 raised to the power of 31. Okay, not 2 raised to the power or 2 raised to the power of 16. Okay, half. Okay, 31. Okay. So now we can quantify the encryption scheme by the length key. Okay. So if a scheme is 64 bits and a scheme is 54 bits, of course A is more secure. Fine. Okay. Later on we'll do RSA. RSA length is 1,000 bits or 2,000 bits. Okay, 2,000 bits. Okay, why? Because the way to attack RSA is not by exhaustive search. There's some smart algorithm. So they believe, so now for RSA, we will try to convert to say that 2,000 bits is equivalent to how many bits, okay, when you do it in exhaustive search. Okay. Yeah. So now how many bits is secure? Okay, now, okay, how many bits is sufficient? Should it be 32, 64, 1,000, or 2,000? How many, right? So there is a guideline. Okay, go to RIT. NIST. Recommend NIST is a standard body in the US. Okay, they give a lot of standard on encryption scheme. Okay, so they give a guideline. Go read it. The guideline will say that if your scheme want to be secure until 2030, this is a bit. You want to beyond 2030, this is the number of bits. Okay. What do you mean by that? Because suppose you encrypt something, and then you think that the information in the thing that you encrypted will not be important or useful after 2030, you use this number of bit size. Right? Why? Because the technology right now is this. 2030, the computer will be faster. Okay, it may not able to break now, but 2030, beyond 2030, it may able to break it. Okay, before 2030, you will not able to break it. right? So he give two numbers, okay? One is before 2030 and one beyond 2030. Okay, for those beyond 2030, if I remember correctly, is 256 bit for AES, 102 for up to 2030 is 128 bits. Okay, if I remember correctly, okay, around that. Okay. For RSA is to be beyond is 2000 bits, 2048 bits. Okay, for RSA. Okay, fine. So let's look at the DES. Okay, DES was designed in 1977. Okay, it was designed during the Cold War times. Okay, so security is very important, national security. So it's designed that so that the government can break it, but normal people cannot break it. Okay, so the number of key is 56 bits. Okay, the 56 bit at that time in the 70s was a big number. You cannot have an exhaustive search, but very fast people try to use distributed computing to break it. Distributed computing means that one machine I take some time by 1,000 machines, then I can have a speed out of 1,000. Okay, this was tested on by the RSA. RSA is a lab. Is a name of a RSA is the name of 3 persons. It's also an algorithm. It's also a company, RSA lab, and it's also a conference. Okay, RSA conference. Okay, some of you probably is already in the security field for some time. You may know that there is a very famous important conferences, security conferences called RSA conference. Okay, in San Francisco, and then they have franchise in Singapore, Japan, and so on. Okay, but main one is in San Francisco. I went there once, quite interesting. Have you watched a documentary, the Mythbuster? There's this new guy running around from Hollywood. They try to bust all the myths. Okay, so I went there. Then they really get these two guys to perform something. How to break an encryption scheme. Okay, quite interesting. And then you heard the CEO of whatever. Okay, anyway, RSA organized this contest. RSA organized this contest for anyone to break. Okay, so the contest is they give a ciphertext of this, then someone break it, and so you can read from here. Okay. One more story to tell. One of my friends. Okay, I was a TA. Okay, I was quite old actually. I was TA in NUS many years ago. Then one of the TA saw that there's a lot of machine around. So at night he also participated in this contest. Okay, it's more like doing a Bitcoin, but now he participates in this contest. Then we noticed that. Then the technician noticed the machine running at night. Then asked the head of department. The head of department asked him, "What are you trying to do?" "No, I'm trying to break. I want to attack system." Wow. There's so many things to say. He said, "I want to attack things. I want to hack into a system or something like that." Oh, then go to the provost or whatever. But actually, it's not. He just participates in this, contribute to this effort. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, physics is broken. Okay. There's another one is AES. Because it's broken, we design AES. AES is designed post-Cold War. Okay, the war over already. Okay. Then the design is before September 11. Okay, so post-Cold War, before the terrorist hype or everything. So now it's more open-minded. The design of AES is done by a community. That means NIST announced to the whole world, we need an encryption scheme. Okay, please submit proposal. So a lot of research groups submit proposal. Then they took a few years to attack each other. Okay, they really attack each other. Go to conferences, say that, oh, I break this. Then after evaluation, there's a winner by Belgium. It's called Reindeer. Okay, and the winner is now what we call AES. Okay, AES has a block length of 128. I mentioned what it is. Key length can be 128, 192, or 256. There's no known attacks on AES. It's secure. Okay, right now. So this AES we'll talk about later. Okay, now I'm going to talk about something technical, no more story. Okay, AES, DES are what we call block cipher. Okay, they are designed to encrypt a fixed size ciphertext, plain text, fixed size. Okay, the size of AES is 128 bits. The block, there's one block. Okay, so AES when it's designed, okay, he will take in key of 3 possible length. Okay, but the input, the plain text, the input must be 128 bits. The output must be 128 bits. Okay, fine. So it's doing in some sense a permutation. Okay, of all the messages, 128 bits messages. Okay, it's clear, right? I'll say one more time. The size is fixed. Okay, you encrypt, you can encrypt a fixed size. Okay, the key size could be of these 3 possible choices. Fine. Okay, so they only design this. Okay, AES they only design this. Okay. Then now I have one movie, 10 megabyte or whatever. What should I do? Okay, then okay, very simple, right? Knee-jerk reaction. Okay, just chop it to blocks. Okay, chop it to pieces and encrypt each pieces. Okay, I chop it to pieces. I have a very long plain text. Chop it to pieces. Every one, chop it to blocks. Every block is 128 bits. Okay, then I encrypt it using the same key. Okay, so this we see in these pictures. Okay, so this look innocent, it's okay. Okay, but then it actually is very insecure. It leaks a lot of information. Okay, so to see why, look at these pictures. Okay, this is a penguin. Okay, the next penguin. Let's assume that this is a big map messages. So every pixel, I believe everyone now should know what is a pixel, right? Every pixel has 3 colors, right? 3 colors. RGB. Let's assume every pixel represented by 3 bytes. 3 bytes, right? Then I can divide it. Okay. Somehow I divide one square here to be 1 block, and 1 block, and so on. Right? So there's a penguin image. I divide it to pieces. Okay, every pieces is a 128 bits, which is 16 bytes. Somehow I divide it to 16 bytes, 16 bytes, 16 bytes, 16 bytes, 16 bytes. Okay, and then apply ECB. This electronic code book. Okay, if I apply it, encrypt it, this will be a ciphertext. Okay. Can you see a penguin there? Yes. Okay. Why is this so? Because you look at this. The background is all white. Okay. If the background is white, this block and this block will be the same. All the block will be the same. Okay, the value in the plain text. If they are the same, so is the what? So is the ciphertext. So right, this one is a deterministic algorithm. Whatever you throw in, it will come out. Okay, you throw in the same thing, come in, go in, the same thing will come out. Okay, so this is a deterministic encryption. Okay, so now, okay, although you go in, come out will be something else. But you know that they are the same. Okay, you don't know what it is, but they are the same. Okay, so what attacker, when you attacker, you receive the ciphertext of this block, you know that you derive the information that these two are the same, although you do not know what is the value. Okay, the knowledge of these two are the same is useful. It's useful. Okay, so you can even visualize it in this case. Okay. And in some other cases, like in the voting or whatever, you encrypt yes and no. If it being encrypted, and even if you do not know what is the content, is fine, because if you receive the vote of everyone and the encrypted one, then you just count, right? You know that this guy and this guy vote the same person, this guy and this guy vote the same person, although you don't know who you vote for, right? So this is also useful information. Okay, so now. So there's a problem. Okay, we cannot just cut it into blocks. Cut it into blocks. Okay. So the way to do it is to use something called mode of operation. Okay, there's a method to join them together. Wow, at this rate, I will not finish. Okay, you have to join them together. How do you join them together? There are many modes of operations. We'll cover two here. One is called CBC, cyber block changing, and the other one is a counter mode. So this cyber block changing, okay. This initial value I'll mention it later. Okay, you to encrypt something, choose some value, 128 bits, which is called initial value. We'll talk about it later. Okay. You choose an initial value, and this is a plain text, right? Divide into a block. Okay. You take this initial value, XOR this one, okay, then encrypt it, you get the ciphertext. Okay, and the next block is being XOR with this ciphertext, this block. Okay, take this one, XOR, encrypt it, come up, pull up here, XOR, go down, go up. You can go forever. Okay. Then what is sent to the receiver or the whole ciphertext is beside this Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 also include the what I call this IV. Okay, this whole thing is sent over. Okay, so this is not secret. Okay, this one will be sent in clear. Okay, to know why you have to send in clear, so that become an exercise. You try to decrypt it. Okay, you try to draw the decryption. Okay, yeah. You found that without the IV, you're not able to decrypt. Okay, yeah. So it's very simple exercise. Okay, go to it. Fine. Yeah. And yeah, correct. Okay. Yeah. So this is a cyber block changing, and then you can see that if it happens that these two blocks are the same, okay, like in the penguin example, the ciphertext Y1 and Y2 will be different, or likely to be different. Okay, fine. Yeah. So if these two are the same, these two likely to be different. Okay. So you break this pattern in the penguin. Okay. So this CBC mode. Do you think it's okay? Is this secure? Okay, right? Okay. But later on, there is some attack on this one. Okay, when you use in the particular scenario, okay, there is some attack on it. One is a padding oracle. The other one is called beast attacks. Okay, which we will not do in this class. Okay, the beast attacks say that because of this beast attack, this IV has to be chosen in a special way. Okay, and the vulnerability of this is actually due to the way of this, the way you link things together. Okay, link in another way, you may end up with different result. Okay, yeah. So this CBC, okay, and there's one counter mode, okay, which I'm going to talk about it later, or which next slide, okay, is this counter mode. Do it this way. Likewise, you have an IV. We'll talk about it later. Then take the IV, which is the some 128 bits, right? Then you treat this as a number. Then you can plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, right? Just treat it as a number. Okay. So you plus 1 binary number, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4. Okay. Then what we do is we encrypt this one using the key. We get something. We encrypt this, we get something. We encrypt this, we get something. We get a big sequence. Okay. After we get a sequence, what do? We have the plain text, and then we just XOR it. We get the ciphertext. Very similar to one-time pad. Okay. You take this, treat this one as the key of the one-time pad, XOR with the plain text. Okay. So this one have a name called stream cipher. We are going to mention later. Okay, this have a name. It's called stream cipher. Okay. Why this? I can mention it right now. Okay. So one thing good about this is this one. Okay. Suppose I want to use this one. Okay, to encrypt my video, my video file. Okay. So I have a video coming, then I chop it into pieces. then I want to encrypt it, then you come in, then I have to XOR, encrypt, and submit, because encryption takes some time. Okay, it will take some time, you do it one by one. Okay, encryption will take, let's say, 64, because it's a 64 round of permutation, substitution, okay. So it will be a bit slow, okay? So that means that when you have a video, you have to stream over, it's a real-time video, like you're talking over the phone, WhatsApp, okay, right? So now it will take some time to, a little bit delay, okay, in encryption. Okay. For this version, one thing good about this is that before we receive the message, before we receive the video to be streamed across, we, I mean the computer, okay, can pre-compute this. Okay, we haven't seen the X1, X2 yet, right? But we compute it first. We first compute it, put it in the memory, buffer, or something else. Okay. Then when the message, the plain text arrive, the only operation to do is to do what? To do a XOR. Okay, just do a XOR. Okay, and you can do it bit by bit. Okay, even the before one, you have to wait for the whole blocks. Okay, this one you can do it every bit. Okay, whatever bits you receive, you can XOR and send, XOR and send, XOR and send. Okay, very fast. Okay, very fast. Right. So real-time communication, for example, like you have a Wi-Fi connection to a router here and so on, all use stream cipher. That means if you are using AES, they are using counter mode. Okay, counter mode. Okay. In fact, all real-time communications, they use stream cipher. Okay, right? Yeah. So what is a stream cipher? Okay, this is a stream cipher. Stream cipher. Okay. So let me describe stream cipher in their perspective. Okay. So what is stream cipher? You remember that we say that one-time pad is the best, unbreakable. Okay. But now we cannot have one-time pad because the key has to be very long. So stream cipher in a certain way is inspired by one-time pad. In stream cipher, the key is short. Okay, the key has to be short. So what do? I take a very short key. Okay, go through some mechanism. Okay, it's the generator. Generate a very long sequence of keys. We call it pseudo-random sequence. A very long, arbitrary length pseudo-random, loop random. Then you use this one as the one-time pad key. Okay, to XOR with your plain text together. Right. You look at this picture. Okay, where is that? This one. Okay, you take the key. Okay, generate a very long pseudo-random sequence. This one. Okay, and then XOR with the plain text. Okay, so this sequence has to be like loop random. That's what, but they are not random. Why? Because they are generated from a short key. So they are not random, not truly random. Okay. So because they are not truly random, we call it pseudo random, something like artificial intelligence. Because they are not intelligent, right? Artificial. Pseudo. The proper name for AI should be pseudo intelligent. PA, not I, not AI, not PI. Okay, pseudo intelligent. Okay. So they are not. Okay. Yeah. So this basically stream cipher. Okay. And stream cipher always has an IV. Okay, where it also appear in the CBC. Okay. So what is this IV? This IV stands for initial value. Okay. What the way they do it is like that. Okay. Instead of taking the secret key, generate the long sequence, pseudo-random sequence, you take the secret key and the IV to generate. Okay. You see the counter mode. Okay. Is the long pseudo-random sequence is not generated purely from the secret key. It's from the secret key plus the IV. How the IV chosen, we'll talk about it later. Usually it's just randomly chosen. Okay, put it there. Okay. And then the IV is sent in clear together. With the ciphertext. Sent in clear. IV is sent in clear. So why the IV has to be sent in clear? Because for decryption, that guy need the IV to generate the pseudo-random sequence. Okay, with no IV, he cannot generate. Okay, so we have one extra step. You put in IV, we send in clear. Okay. Now, since you send in clear, why I need an IV? You send in clear already, right? So there's a reason for that. Okay. What is the reason for that? I think this picture will be very clear. Okay, this is an explain of what is, okay? How to get it? Use this picture. This is the, suppose without IV. Suppose there's no IV. Okay, no IV, no initial value. From the secret key, you can generate a very long pseudo-random sequence like that. Okay, this is your plain text. This is another plain text. Okay, the key is to encrypt many plain text, right? The key is not to just use on only one plain text. Okay, so we'll use on many. Let's assume that plain text is a bitmap again. Okay, bitmap. Here I've been using easy, just 0 mean black, 1 mean white, for example. Okay, so there's a zebra here. You represent the plain text, represent this image. We visualize it like that. But actual plain text is a sequence, right? This one I just organize it in 2D, represent as an image. So you take this, XOR this, you get U. Okay, and you take this, XOR this, you get V. Okay. Now the attacker will do this. Okay, they will XOR. Suppose the attacker, eavesdropper, manage to get U and V. Okay, you get U, have no idea what is this. You get V, have no idea what is this. But if he XOR these two, you will turn out to be the XOR of these two. Okay, you XOR these two, you get XOR of these two, which is this. And then you look at that, can you see a zebra there? I think so, right? And you probably can see the word black and white. Okay, so why is this so? Why my email come up? Okay, why is this so? Then go through some mathematics. Okay, very simple mathematics. Because you take the U is the encrypted, V is the encrypted ciphertext, right? You take these two XOR to them. This is X, XOR K, Y XOR K, then play around, shift around, then K XOR K. Okay, K XOR K becomes 0, then becomes X XOR 1. Okay, take a look at the. Okay, cancel, the two secret key cancel each other. Okay. So now it's crucial. Okay, this one cannot be the same. This one cannot be the same for every plain text. So the way to fix it, or patch or whatever, is to do this. Okay, all engineer, computer science like to patch things. Okay, see something not working, then make some small changes. Okay, in English we say niao 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 niao. Okay, just make some changes. Okay, so the small changes we make to this so that it works is to introduce a notion of IV. Okay, so to encrypt it, you take the secret key and the randomly chosen IV to generate this sequence. Okay, and this sequence. So for two different encryption, the IV, if the IV is different, this two is different. If these two is different, XOR them, they get nothing. Okay, so this is important. Okay, this IV is important. Later on, I talk about P4, a lot of implementation, even by Microsoft, make a mistake in how they choose the IV. They forget about the IV. Okay, fine. Yeah. So this done. Okay, in some sense, IV made an encryption probabilistics. Previously, encryption is a deterministics, and now become probabilistics. Okay. Fine. Any questions? No question, right? Okay. So I added this session. Okay, originally it doesn't have this session, but after the first lecture, I feel that everyone is enthusiastic and academically strong. Okay, so I added these two sessions. Okay, it was not there before that. Okay, this session. So I will give two examples of attacks, crypto attacks. Okay, attacks, example. Okay. First one is called meet in the middle attacks. Okay. It's not to be confused with another term called man in the middle. Man in the middle. Okay, it's called meet in the middle. DES. DES is not secure because 56 bits. 56 bits. Okay. And we use exhaustive search, we can break it. Okay, this DES. The algorithm of DES is quite good. In fact, they believe that if it's 56-bit, the fastest way to exhaustive search it is actually 2 raised to the power of 55 and no more. Okay, there's some mistake there. You can improve it to 2 raised to the power of 55 instead of 56 for exhaustive search. Okay, just 1 or 2 bit improvement, but it's still fine. Okay, so now I did mention it last week. If something is not secure, what is the way to do it to make it more secure? Do it 2 times. Do it 2 times, right? If this lock is not good, put 2 lock. Okay. So now, at that time, they know it's not secure. Okay, not secure. We do it 2 times or 3 times. Okay, and then maybe add some more thing. Why want to do it 2 times? Why not we just design a new one? Okay. First thing, design a new one will take some time, and second thing is that a lot of program already written, a lot of hardware already manufactured. Okay, encryption scheme is not only in the program, it is coded in the hardware like the phone or whatever. Because you have to do encryption very fast. It's done in the hardware. And doing the hardware, you take a lot of time to design and all this. Okay, so it took a very long time to get the encryption scheme into the application. Okay, the process is very long. Okay, to get approved or whatever. Okay, so the easiest way is to reuse it, do it 2 times. Okay. Now, if you do it 2 times, it turns out that you do it 2 times, it's not secure. You have to do it 3 times. Okay, it's very strange. Okay, so why it's not secure? Now I'm going to describe this man in the middle attack. Okay, it's not secure against no plain text attacks. Okay, introduced by Diffie and Hellman in 1977. They got their belated Turing Award, I think last year or 2 years ago. Okay, so RSA is 3%. Rivers, Shamel, and Edelman. Okay, they received their Turing Award for designing the RSA algorithm, public key cryptography. Okay, but indeed, the concept of having a public key cryptography is by Diffie and Hellman. Okay, so they come out with this concept, but they don't have a scheme. Okay, and they have also a lot of other contribution. Okay, so from that, the community recognized their contribution and award both of them Turing Award. Okay, I think it's 2 years ago. I don't remember. 2 years. Okay. So now we assume attacker have a plain text and a ciphertext. Okay, and the encryption is encrypted 2 times using 2 keys, 2 different keys. You take the plain text, encrypt, get the ciphertext. Attacker goal is to find this key, these 2 keys. How to find it? 56-bit, how to find it? Exhaustive search will be 112, not feasible. So the do it in this way, meet in the middle. Okay, very simple. You take the plain text, okay, try all possible key, 2 raised to the power of 56, which is feasible. Okay, try all possible key, okay. Then you get this. To encrypt this one, take the plain text, encrypt, you get all the ciphertext here. Okay. Then you take the ciphertext, try all possible decryptions. Try all possible decryption. Okay, possible key for decryption. Try all possible key, decrypt it, you get all this. Okay. Because M and C is obtained by M through encryption 2 times, right? Okay. So suppose this is the real key, this is the correct key. So if we encrypt to C2, and then suppose the real key is 2 and 6. 2 and 6, you encrypt, get this, and then encrypt 1 more time to get C, right? C is obtained from M by 2 encryption. Suppose the first key is 2, and the second key is 6. Okay, so you go to this path, encrypt, and then encrypt again to get C. For this to work, this M2 and C2 must be the same, right? That means that M2 and C2 is the same. Right, M2 is the same. Right, if 2 and 6 is the correct key, this C2 and M6 must be the same. Must be the same. Okay? Okay, this gives the attack. Okay? You do this, store in the big table, do this, store in big table, then search for intersection, common element. After common element is found, then we get the keys. Now you count the number of operations or search required. The way I count it, I don't count number, so I count the number of encryption and number of decryption required. You count it, then this one will be 2 raised power k. This is the 2 raised power k. Total will be twice that. That means 2 raised power of k plus 1. 2 power raised k plus 1. Okay, fine. But there's a caveat here. You need to have a large hard disk to store all this. Okay, store this. How much storage you require? 2 raised power k plus 1 also. Fine. So you can do this, but you need a very large storage. Fine. So a lot of attacks, okay, in crypto, it turns out that time is not a crucial one. It's the space, the storage. You don't have enough storage to store the things. Okay. So in that case, then we do some trade-off. Trade-off with time and space. Okay. So how do you do like that? You do it this way. Okay. Instead of attacks of 56 bits, let me pretend that I already know 3 bits here and 3 bits here. Okay. So you exhaustively search the 3 bit from here and 3 bit from here. Okay. Over here I put it as S. Okay. In this example, I exhaustively search. That means I assume that I already know 1 bit here. I already know 1 bit here. Okay. You know 1 bit here, 1 bit here. The time will be the time and space will be smaller. Okay. This assuming you know some bits in here and some bits in here. But we doesn't know the bits, right? So what do? Then we exhaustively try all possible combination of this. Right? So now I do exhaustive search of the S bit, okay, an S bit of this, then I carry out the previous attacks. So by doing so, you add up, you calculate the time, you go back and calculate, okay, the time required. The time required will be more, okay, will be more. But the space required will be less. So in case that you can afford to use more time but you have no hard disk, then you use the trade-off. Okay, so this is a trade-off in time and space. Fine? Okay, so done. So take a very quick 5 minutes break. Then, before that, this is just a simple story to tell. Okay. so what do we do? Then we use tree encryption. We cannot do encryption to be secure. Do tree encryption. So you search around. Some of you may have known it. There's some standard called 3DES. 3DES. There are many forms. It's 3DES, TDES, TDEA, or depends on how the tree encryption is used. For example, you can encrypt 3 times. You can encrypt, decrypt it. It's also considered 3 times. Okay, and using all different key or using whatever and so on, there are many different versions. Okay, and they are considered secure. Actually, they are considered secure. Okay, in some sense, they are considered secure, and it's still in use. In Visa, I think last year they say that they are not going to use it already. It's more like PR, back PR. Okay, I think they don't use it already. Visa, okay, then Outlook also use it. Okay, fine. Okay, so take 5 minute breaks. Then we carry on for the next one. Heading on to